Hello everyone! So I know that this video is a little bit later than it was supposed to be sure. Obviously this was my last piece for Mermay, and May has definitely come and gone already, so it is now kind of already almost the middle of June, so I'm sorry that it took me so long to finish this one. I actually did finish this particular piece before the end of May. I actually finished it on the last day of May, um, and I had posted it on Instagram, which sometimes I tend to post things over there much sooner than I post things over here because it just takes me quite a bit longer to finish videos sometimes. And especially the last couple weeks, I've kind of been a bit busy and a little bit overwhelmed with just so many things going on. So sorry it took so long to finish this one, but it's out now. Yes, this was my last piece for Mermay, even though it is now June, but I'm still wanted to, of course, put it out just because it was my last piece. I'm definitely excited to be kind of moving on from Mermay. I had a ton of fun with that theme, especially being able to go with all sorts of different jellyfish mermaids. But I'm also happy to be able to kind of move on to some other things and work on like my tea creatures and some other stuff. So I had a lot of fun, and I'm going to be looking for more themes like that. If you know of any, please let me know, because I actually really enjoyed being focused on a single theme instead of just trying to think of ideas and go with whatever comes to mind. Um, so if you have ideas, then please let me know. In other news, my where I live has finally moved on from the first initial phase of coronavirus quarantine, and we've moved on to what is known as phase 2, which is kind of a huge relief for me. I wasn't sure if we would be moving on anytime soon, and so I'm really happy that we are, because phase 2 means that a number of things, in particular, the thing that's most important to me is the fact that I can see people again. It's, I think, 5 people out from outside of your home per week, which is kind of a big deal, um, especially when I haven't seen really anybody for months. Being able to finally see even just a couple people is definitely a huge deal to me. Another thing is I think restaurants are now able to open up at a very small percentage of their full capacity, like 30% or something. And it's no more than 5 people to a table. But that, to me, it's still wonderful. It's still not enough. Like, my whole family cannot go out to eat because we have more than 5 people in our family. But I could go out with a friend or go out with my parents, and I'm definitely excited to be able to do that. And my boss emailed me a couple days ago and was just double checking about if I would be working next year at school, and so that was good to make sure that I was still, going to be working next year, because I haven't been working this semester because of everything obviously that happened. I'm kind of hoping I can. Well, my job is I'm a tutor at my school. I'm a tutor for writing and Japanese, and so I'm excited to be able to go back to that, and I might have the opportunity to do online tutoring, which would be really nice because my hours would just be so much more flexible, and I think it would be easier to be able to work from my dorm room, but we'll see. I'm not sure if I will be online or in person, and I know there's going to be, if it is in person, there's definitely going to be new measures like staying 6 feet apart from people, which I'm not exactly sure how that works in a tutoring session. Normally I have to be close enough to the person to be able to, show them, especially if I'm doing writing tutoring. Japanese is a little bit easier to be farther apart because I can have a conversation with somebody, because mostly we do conversation practice. But writing, I think, will definitely be a little bit more difficult to do being 6 feet apart, and I think it would be almost easier to just do it online and be able to have like some sort of Skype or like video chat where we can share screens and show and work together that way, or on a Google Doc. Not that any of that particularly matters to people who are watching this video, but it's just something I've been thinking about and trying to figure out because things are just in such an unsure place right now. On I think it was it Saturday or Sunday? I think it was Sunday. My entire neighborhood did a sort of like graduation walk parade thing throughout the whole neighborhood, so we definitely spent quite a bit of time preparing for that because my mom was the person who basically had the idea for it and was somewhat in charge of organizing a lot of the things for it. So that was really fun. We got to do like chalk messages to all the graduates throughout on the road throughout the neighborhood. And when I say graduates, it wasn't just like high school graduates, but I think it was people who were graduating of sorts from kindergarten, from 5th grade, from 8th grade, and then high school seniors, and then university seniors. So all of them got to, kind of do this parade, and there were like little gifts for them throughout the neighborhood. Like different neighbors put out tables with things for them, and I drew lots of chalk pictures. My favorite one was a graduating penguin, which didn't look, chalk is kind of hard to work with, especially on like roads instead of like smoother sidewalks, but I definitely had fun playing around with and just writing little messages for them. And so it was a really fun way to, I think, celebrate in a time where things are just different, but in a way, like, I felt like it was, instead of trying to make a graduation where it felt like a normal graduation, but we had to like adjust a bunch of things, and so it felt like a graduation, but a less fun graduation or a less special graduation. Instead, I think we were able to kind of make it something unique and special just for this period in time. And I mean, who knows, we might be doing graduation parades throughout the neighborhood every year, but I think for this particular year, it was a really good way to be able to celebrate with people when things didn't necessarily go how they expected. Everybody, especially I really feel for like high school seniors who often, I know for a lot of people, it's something you look forward to for a really long time, and to have that suddenly out of nowhere kind of taken away from you, I could imagine would be really difficult. So I was glad that we found a way, and of course it was all like social distanced. Everybody marched, like all the seniors or graduates were all 6 feet apart during the whole thing, and everybody was kind of in their own house, like yard spaces. But it was, I think, a really good way to both safely and like have a safe way of celebrating, but also a really special and unique way of celebrating with them. So that was definitely fun. It was a very tiring day, but it was also just, it was a good time, I think. And so I was really happy to be able to be a part of that, and I think it was a really good idea. So thanks to my mother, who has so many interesting ideas sometimes. She can be pretty creative, I think. She says she doesn't like planning events and stuff, but I think she's actually secretly quite good at it. So yeah, I think this week was definitely a little bit busy, which is part of the reason why this video is not coming out until now, but I will be working a little bit more on some other art stuff from now on. So I think I did actually end up getting, I don't know if I said this already in my previous video, but I do have Clip Studio Paint now officially. So most of my art from now on will probably be done on there. I've really enjoyed getting to play around with some of the tools. I feel like some of the pieces or like what I can do with it tends to turn out a little bit more refined looking, but I'm still learning a lot about the different tools. So you'll have to bear with me as I kind of make a lot of mistakes and struggle to learn a new piece of software because I haven't used it before and I'm not exactly sure, it's obviously just a new program. So it's going to take me some time to get used to and to really learn how to use it. I don't think I even really ever uncovered half of the things Krita could do. And so I know it's going to take definitely some time with Clip Studio Paint, but I'm really happy to have a program that I think I'll be sticking with for quite a while. And being able to just know that, okay, this is the program I'm going to use. Because with Krita, it was always like, well, I don't know if I'm going to be sticking with this. So how much time do I want to invest in really, really properly learning the software? But with Clip Studio Paint, I know I can really just dive in and take the time I need and really, kind of learn all the different tools within it. So I'm excited to be able to use that. I think this will probably be my last video where I use Krita, unless I go back to using it for something. I currently is probably a better option for animating, but I haven't done very much animation recently, so you never know. There might be Krita in the future, I might use it, but for the most part, you're going to be seeing Clip Studio Paint from now on. And so this was my last piece for Mermay. This last one, was based off of the crown jellyfish, which is also known as Cephea. So I'm actually pretty happy with how this one turned out. I didn't spend as much time on it as I usually spend on pieces, but I still think it turned out okay in the end. I especially had a lot of fun with her hair because I normally don't do like hair with curls in it, and so it was kind of fun doing that like wavy and then ringlets at the bottom. But I definitely had quite a bit of fun. It took me a while to figure out a pose to do with this one because it was hard to find something that fit the overall shape of this particular jellyfish and to find something that would be easy enough for me to draw but also like fit the overall mood and theme. But I think the one that I picked in the end worked pretty well. I asked people on Instagram which between, I think I had 3 or so gestures for different poses, and this is the one that most people said I should do, so it's what I went ahead and used, and I think it turned out pretty good. I hope that you kind of enjoyed going on this little journey with me. It was really quite fun, for me at least, and I'll be looking for more themes in the future. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time.